Joanne Fluke's Lake Eden Cookbook was published in 2011. The book is mostly recipes. In between the various recipe sections, there are some short stories with the Hannah Swensen characters. Most of these stories are 1 to 2 pages long. I'd say about 10% of the recipes in the book are new. The rest are copied directly from the first 10 Hannah Swensen books.
Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review.
The story is that all the women in town are having a luncheon where they eat food and share recipes. Hannah has to smile at this, because share means to divide something into pieces. Could you imagine people ripping up recipes into pieces? Ha ha ha. I find it hard to believe that Hannah is such a grammar nerd. She always says may I instead of can I, but she doesn't know some words have multiple meanings. Hannah jokes that if her recipes get any more popular, she'll have to stock up on printing supplies. Since when does she have a printer? I just read book 16. Hannah doesn't know how to download something from her email. Using a printer is far beyond her. There are 9 pages of drink recipes. The women tell the humorous story of the time Winnie Henderson got drunk by accident. She passed out. The hospital didn't have an ambulance, so they picked her up in a funeral hearse. She woke up partway through and thought she was dead. There are 3 pages of soup recipes. The women talk about Gladys Hollenbeck. She tried moving to California to get away from Minnesota winters. She found a husband who moved her to Minnesota. Now she's stuck with bad winters for the rest of her life. There are 24 pages of quick meals. This is around the time the author stops putting much effort into the story sections of the book. Instead of longer, funny stories, we get 1 to 2 pages of idle chatter about nothing. Here, they talk about the smell of gas leaks. Gas leaks used to smell like roses, but now they smell like rotten cabbages. That means people get their gas leaks repaired more quickly. There are 15 pages of bread recipes. Andrea says she made a terrible mistake when baking lemon meringue pie. There are 53 pages of pie and cake recipes before Andrea finishes her story. It's a long time to wait. Andrea's mistake was adding eggs without first removing the eggshells. Oops. Claire says it's okay. She was fooled by a cookie recipe that said to cream butter, but she accidentally thought it meant add cream to butter. Something similar happened to me. I tried making the cocoa cookie recipe from book 15. The recipe says drop the batter on the tray, so I thought they were drop cookies, but they're not. There are 150 pages of cookie recipes. Honestly, reprinting old cookie recipes is the majority of this book. Mother talks about her plans for the rest of the day, which is followed by 22 pages of bar cookie recipes. The ladies say kids love candy. Then we get 13 pages of candy recipes. Hannah says some recipes can use substitutions, and we get 7 pages of substitution recipes. Everybody talks about how much they love rhubarb, and we get 20 pages of miscellaneous recipes. That's it for the recipes. The book finishes with a 10-page story about Hannah going home. Everybody worries Hannah can't make it home safely because there's a blizzard outside. They force Hannah to go home with Michelle. That way, Hannah can call her mom using Michelle's cell phone as soon as she gets home. You know, Hannah is in her 30s. Why does she need to check in with her mommy when going to her own house? And why does she need her little sister to be the responsible one to take care of her? It should be the other way around. Mike and Norman worry about Hannah. They try calling her mom, but the phone lines are down. So why don't they call her cell phone? They just established Hannah's mom uses a cell phone. Better yet, why didn't they call Hannah directly? Or call her through Michelle? I don't know. Mike and Norman both come to Hannah's apartment to see if she's okay. Hannah quickly realizes the men are trying to set her up. Since Michelle's in the guest bedroom, there's not enough room for both men in the apartment. Hannah will have to let one of the men sleep in her bed with her. Their plan fails when Hannah decides to sleep with Michelle in the guest bedroom. Norman tells Mike he knew their plan wouldn't work. I'm sure this section is intended as a joke, but it's kind of creepy that Hannah's boyfriends are actively working together to trick her into starting a physical relationship. And that's it for this book. It's okay. It looks like most of the reviews are from people who like the recipe aspect of the Hannah Swensen series. This book is almost nothing but recipes, so they loved it. I'm personally not a fan of the recipe stuff, but it's certainly more convenient to have all the recipes gathered together in one book, instead of spread across 10 books. I wonder if the author will do another recipe collection book. By now she's got enough new recipes to fill a new book. Some of the stories are okay, but most of them are so low effort that they're not worth including. On the other hand, the Nancy Drew cookbook only had one story section. This book has about 10. That's more original content. This book easily could have been a reprint of old recipes without any new content. Actually, that's what I was expecting. In conclusion, I would recommend this book to Hannah's recipe fans. If you're a Hannah mystery fan or a romance fan, not a recipe fan, then you'll probably want to avoid this one.